Hey guys, it does look like it might be true that Serenity McKinney's body has been discovered. I'm going to just show you some Twitter accounts, some Twitter handles. Oops, which way do I need to go? There we go. And it does look true, guys. It's a sad day right now, a sad day. But, we've been reporting on this for a little minute. We were trying to talk about DCS, all the problems that are associated with the alphabet soup, the alphabet soup of these child protective services, and the fact that they can't communicate back and forth from state to state. And there's no real national database for children that, golly, this is just, it's, so anyways, we just started getting some stuff out of Twitter, so Serenity McKinney, let's just go over here and just talk. The body discovered in Bullitt County. Bio dad was informed by the police it's a match and charges will be following. They're trying to wrap their heads around scheduling service at this time. This is, there's obviously some stuff that is going out. Where was I just at? Yeah, they believe she's been recovered. So we definitely may have found this beautiful baby. So Serenity's mother and boyfriend are avoiding family and law enforcement. So it sounds like, I know somebody is asking, who killed her. It sounds like it's the mother and the boyfriend that are responsible for this child. It's just, it's heartbreaking, folks. It's heartbreaking. Looks like, this is real. It looks like the mom and the boyfriend. So let's just go and look at some history of Serenity. Let me pull this back here real quick. So some history of Serenity and we'll get started on this so you guys can see the monsters that were associated with this girl that went missing. So here they are. I'm pulling them up now. Let me get this passed. So here we go. There they are. There they are. The monsters. The monsters right there. So guys, it's sad. It's a sad day here. We really try to help families. We try to find answers here. This is one of those where, once again, the parents are responsible for doing grave things to their child. Grave things to their child. Yeah, Bullitt County. Yes, Red. That's what the posts are saying. In Bullitt County, they found her remains. I have a funny feeling we're going to find out because these parents have already been arrested, because again, everybody other outside of Tennessee Bureau of Investigation knows how to charge parents with crimes unrelated to the disappearance or associated with the child. And here they had arrested these people, these just despicable people. And, yes, they can both fry. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry. It's hard. We were just having a conversation this morning on Coffee Club about Susan Smith. And here we go. It's like almost here we go again, right? And it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. Parents do horrible things to their children. They do horrible, horrible things to their children, and we speak out against this. We speak out against, one, violence in general, but two, child abuse. We speak against child abuse. And Julian, I have no idea. I have no idea. But this is, again, we had the whole campaign in here on, what do Serenity, Harmony, and Summer have in common, right? And it's the drugs and the abuse in the home. So under your scars, it is on Twitter. The Twitter, we find that Twitter breaks news a little bit quicker than mainstream media. So I don't think you can Google it. Go to Twitter. You can type in Serenity McKinney. I got a notification from a friend that they believe that they have found her body. And of course, we started reading here, and breaking news: Serenity McKinney has been recovered. So it does sound like this is true. They did find her. I understand that people, unfortunately, it's difficult because mainstream media takes a little minute. That's why we have social media, right? That's why it's important that you have boots on the ground too. So I'm pretty sure that somebody that broke this was probably close to the case, in the area in which they were searching, and in the area where all this stuff is going on, which I'm not. So I get notifications, I do some research, I find out that it is in fact true. So here we are, folks. Another baby angel, gone too soon. We will find out it's at the hands of her parents. The people that she was supposed to be protected by are the ones responsible for this young child's disappearance. Remember, she disappeared. These parents went to jail early on. And guess what? It seems like all the parents that go to jail early on in the case, you find recovery of the child. And it still frustrates me as to what in the world is going on with Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. They have enough to charge Candace as well as Dawn on unrelated child abuse, child neglect, and child endangerment charges, and they still fail to do a darn thing. So absolutely, Rosalie. Absolutely. I am so sick of covering these stories. I really am. I'm sick and tired of covering these stories. I'd love to go out and do, I just did that thing about the Beacon. You know what? I would love to go out and cover, stuff, lighter sides of things. And I don't get the luxury of doing that because there's so much horrible things going on in this country and across this world. Yeah, Red. Right. But in all fairness, they arrested Cody Bigsby without a body for Corey. Excuse me. Is it Cody? It's Corey Bigsby without the body of Cody. And they also Kiera Cotton. They arrested her without a body, and they arrested these parents without a body. But in all those cases, except Corey, they have recovered the child. Within a little bit after actually arresting them. Now, there's a little difference, a little nuance with Harmony's case, because they've had those parents arrested and in their custody for some time, and they still haven't recovered Harmony yet. So it's very, very sad. This is just, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. But it is going to start spreading across the internet like wildfires. Serenity has been recovered. She is not, oh God, I'm getting goosebumps. She's not going to make it home, folks. She's not making it home. So let's just take a few seconds here for a moment of silence for Serenity McKinney. There's some evil in this world, folks. There's just some evil in this world that, we're never going to be able to describe. And I have to think, the drugs and the alcohol play a lot. I can't imagine. There's just some people that are just going to be rotten in this world. There really are. There's just going to be some people that are just rotten to the core. And there are some people that allow drugs and alcohol to rule their life and to have them do some of the most despicable things in this world. And I have got to say that right now, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I really don't. It's just not fair, folks. It's just not fair. These beautiful babies never even had a chance. They really didn't. They really didn't. So guys, I'm not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to, hey, my pal Sal, I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a little minute. I just wish this stuff would just come to an end. I'm so sick of covering these cases. I really am. It's sad. It is so, so sad. She didn't deserve that. These children, some of these children never have a chance. They just don't. They don't. Summer never had a chance. Harmony never had a chance. Serenity never had a chance. And again, they have a commonality. They have a commonality. Commonality is the home environment in drugs and alcohol. That's the commonality that these babies have. And it's just, there's no such, I'm sorry. It's either negligence. I don't believe in accidents. You think about it. I mean, as a child growing up, I've had accidents. My parents don't just dispose of me and move on with life. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. You take your child to medical care. You take your child to medical care. There's no excuse. Even if something happened and the child wasn't breathing, you do everything you can to help that child. Just because you're not breathing doesn't mean you won't never breathe again. I, of all people, stopped breathing. They had to give me chest compressions and bring me back to life. Oh, thank you for sakes. It's horrible. This is just heartbreaking, guys. Parents, for those parents that are, struggling with drugs and alcohol, I'd like to help you. I'd like to help you. If you're living in an environment that it's not just about, not covering these cases, about helping heal some of the wounds. There's a reason why people are moving to drugs and alcohol and, consuming their lives, to get drugs and to get alcohol. And I want to make sure that we here at the Bullhorn Betty Show and channel help these people, not these people. When it gets here, your butt deserves to be locked up. But if you're identifying and associating with, a drug problem or an alcohol problem, I'd like to help you before it gets here. I'd like to help you before your child is injured because of your irresponsibility. If you need help, the first step starts with you admitting that you have a problem and then reaching out to find resources. I would like to help anybody that has children and has a drug problem. I am sick and tired of covering these cases. I want to get you out of the domestic violence situation that you are in so this does not happen to your children. I am serious. I am as serious as a heart attack. I would sell everything I have to save a child. If you are suffering and don't know how to get out, please reach out to me. I will find you resources. I will find a way to get you help. That is my honest word to you. I'm sick of covering these cases. Your life matters to me. These children's lives matter to me. We can work on this, but you have to be willing to do it yourself. All right, guys. Well, I would say you heard it here first, but to be honest with you, I wasn't the first one to break it. I got this information from people. Ronnie informed me that there was some stuff coming out on Twitter. I went and read the Twitter feeds, and I realized that, yes, indeed, they did find Serenity. And today is a very sad day for many people that have been following these cases. And unfortunately, this is not going to be the last time that I'm going to have to come on here and give this horrible freaking news. We need to start advocating for people to get out of these relationships, because the mother of this young, beautiful child here was in a domestic violence situation with that jerk. She's responsible. Now, remember, I want to go over this again. You know, this is something that we discussed at length. Okay, this is the TBI one, but this is, you know, kind of standard protocol across the board. And I want to read this again. As a parent or legal guard, custodian / caretaker, failure to protect a child from another person who perpetrated physical abuse on that child is just as guilty of that physical abuse. Is just as guilty as that physical abuse. The dad, Susan Goins, the dad is not arrested. The dad has nothing to do with this child. It was the mother and her boyfriend. So let me just go back and show you the despicable people that are alleged to be responsible. And I have a funny feeling they are. These are despicable people that don't deserve to see the light of day. They deserve to cook, in my opinion. I don't know if Kentucky has a death sentence or a death penalty, but we need to do something. This is getting ridiculous. And these were preventable. Like this, she was already in the system. Just like Harmony was already in the system. How do you lose track of a freaking kid? Sorry, it's angry. Yes, Susan, the boyfriend and the mother have both been arrested on unrelated charges. I'm pretty sure they're going to be charged with the death of this child. Yeah. It's, how do you, I don't understand. Like, somebody from CPS, call me up and explain how in the world you lose a child. I mean, you know, 10 or 15 years ago, we heard about children being lost in the systems. We have computer systems now. We have these beautiful tickler systems. You know, the taxpayer pays millions, probably over the last decade, billions of dollars for programs and systems to make sure that this type of crap doesn't happen. Yet here we are again in 2022. How does this happen? Your guess is as good as mine, Barbara. Your guess is as good as mine. Good, Mike. I'm glad they do have the death penalty. You know, we discussed Susan Smith earlier this morning on the Coffee Club and how I believe that great. I'm glad that's on there. So, you know, I'm blocking this user again. Do not contact me anymore. Where was I? See, and you know, I'm not even going to get into it. My mods, if anything, if anybody impersonates me on my own channel, I want them blocked immediately. So I'm going to go in here right now to make sure that they cannot. Hold on, let me pull back. Sorry. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, I don't understand how they lose a child. I just don't. How do they lose a child in the system? It does not make sense to me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And it's sad. It's sad. This should never happen to another child as long. I mean, we're 2022. How can they not have a system designed to take care of monitoring these children from state to state? You know, it's not like this is a new situation, right? We've been having problems with losing children in this system for decades. Well, you would think that we'd have legislation by now, right? By now, saying, hey, how do we monitor this? I'm sick and tired of hearing people get lost in the system. Babies, right? We had the one where they gave a child that was supposed to go back to a parent, right? They gave a child that was supposed to go back to a parent to a foster care. And guess what? When it was time to send the child back to foster care, right? Guess what? They couldn't find the child. This was a decade ago. That was a story from a decade ago. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Let's keep moving. Oh, good. Yeah, I see a lot of people being this later in the afternoon. A lot of people I haven't seen in the morning. Well, I forgot I used to do lives in the afternoon too, and I started missing those. Dakota Hill is the name confirmed. Dakota Hill is the name confirmed. What do you mean, Len? I don't know. What do you mean? Because this one's Serenity. I'm talking about Serenity McKinney. And I want to see what else. Let's just check and see what else is popping up, because I know Twitter is popping right now for the latest. Rest in peace. So it's starting to make its waves through social media right now that, you know, it was the body of Serenity McKinney that they found in okay, let's see. Serenity recovered. Abby McKinney and Dakota Hill. Oh, Dakota Hill have now both been charged with her murder. Thank you. Now I got it. Sorry, I got it. Here, let me just pull this back up. They are now both charged with, yep, it's been confirmed, guys. They have both been charged with her murder. Both have been charged with her murder. This is why we do the work that we do. This is why we bring awareness to these children. In some cases, we go out there and find out, do interviews and find out. You know what? I would have had the whole entire world pissed off at me if I went out there and protested these parents' house because they're innocent until proven guilty. And here we go again. One more time. Here we go again. Parents freaking responsible for the demise of their child. You know, it's sickening. It's sickening. And you know what? We got people out there in this country that feel sorry for these parents. Sick. Let me say that again. It's sick. If you don't like my opinion, stay the heck off my channel. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I'm hearing that, Stephanie. That's well, she'll never see that child either, because they take the child as soon as you have that child in jail. They take that child. She is never going to see that child ever. Yeah, they are sick scumbags. Let's talk about it. You know, what is wrong with people in this country? You know what they could have done? They could have given her up for adoption. They could have sent her to her father's home. Right? There was a number of things that these parents could have done and chose not to. And I guarantee, had I showed up their house protesting, I would have had everybody and their mother barking down my throat. And then boom. And this is the same crap we're going to find out with the Wells. This is the same nonsense we're going to find out with the Wells. TBI needs to get off their duff and start doing something. They need to start doing something. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sick. Anyways, guys, sad day. Please pray for Serenity. You know, her father's waking up to horrible news. I'm sure he had already felt it. He probably already knew that this was not going to end well. You know, her family, her friends, outside of those pieces of garbage right there, you know, they're probably really, really, yeah, you know what? I hear that. Beekeeper, it's funny that you say that, because I hear that all the time. That's exactly why Harmony's parents are sitting in jail right now, because they went ahead and charged them with an unrelated charge, and the unrelated charge was fraud, because they were collecting. They're trying to say that Harmony went to her parents' house or her mom's house. Then if you knew that she was not under your care, why are you still collecting and filing paperwork to continue to collect fraudulent assistance for a child that you know is in the mom's home? Because they knew the mother was not going to be filing paperwork on the child because the child wasn't there. The mom had no clue the child was even missing. That's why. That's why. McKinney. Patty McKinney. 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 It is sick. It is absolutely sick. It's sickening. It is sick. And these parents, you know. Ugh. But anyways, guys, this is just news. I wanted to make sure that I got that out to all the people that are out there this afternoon. This baby has been found. May she rest in peace. Let's pray for her and her father and the good people that were in her life that are struggling and, you know, just heartbroken over this. I mean, I'm heartbroken over this, and I didn't even know her. This is killing me. This is literally breaking my heart. It is despicable what some people are capable of in this country. And again, it comes down to these people were supposed to have protected this child, protected her, kept her safe. And they were the monsters all along. They were the monsters all along. She was precious, Ronnie. She was. Happens every day, Dubai. Every single day. How many times did we hear on the record Candace didn't want kids? These kids. He leaves me with these kids. Serenity, wake up. Serenity's been missing for quite some time. I want to say that they lost her. I want to say 2000? 2021? Something. I don't know. She's been missing. I can't remember. But she's been missing for a little minute. DCS lost her. And they quit, you know, finding her. And they were trying to say it was based upon communication issues from state to state. I'm sick of hearing that excuse from these states and state departments that it's because we couldn't communicate with the other state. We have no way. It's 2022. It is 2022. Maybe our politicians need to quit worrying about a protest bill and start worrying about how to fix this issue with these children. Because a protest bill will not stop me from protesting, period. Because something like this, you will not stop me, arrest me, charge me. I don't give a crap. I really don't. I really don't. When it comes to these children, I will do whatever it takes. I will do whatever it takes. We will not let them die in vain. We will not let them be pushed to a bottom of a list. We will not let their case be cold. These children's lives matter. And again, thank you, Sherry. Oh, I love you. Thank you, love. We may be controversial, but you know what? The cases that we cover don't die out. I can guarantee that. The cases we cover don't die out. Yep. Christmas Eve 2020. That's what I thought. Because I think it was Harmony that was in 2019. Because I remember they were 1 year apart almost, because to the area. How do you lose a child for 2 years? Right? Look at that beautiful face. And these parents are getting away with it. And these are just two cases. You got Harmony's case, and you got Serenity's case. How many cases are like this that we don't even know about yet? How many cases that are just like this? They are not unique, believe me. It's just that sick. These cases are not unique. How many other ones are just like this we have yet to learn about? If it can happen to Harmony and it can happen to Serenity, believe me, it's happening to somebody else. So parents, if you guys are in a custody dispute and you haven't seen or talked to your child in a little minute, it might be time for you to start reaching out and finding out where your child is, whether you like it or not. Because you just never know. I definitely wouldn't be trusting CPS at this point. They are incapable of handling these matters. And it comes back to my argument with, why are social workers doing criminal investigations? It should be the police that do the criminal investigation and hand off the referral to DCS or the alphabet soup of child protective services for that state, not the other way around. Right now, they get involved and they notify the police if they should be involved. Who the hell is a social worker to be making these kinds of determinations? They are not equipped to be handling criminal investigation or what is a crime and what is not a crime. I'm sorry. They just don't. They just don't. That's how this kind of crap happens. That's sick. That's sick. Ugh. Anyways, here we are, folks. And the mother is pregnant again. That's what I heard, Laurie. Somebody else was, a couple people have brought that up in this show today, in this channel. It's sad. It is sad. This just, listen, there are still, even though that this despicable mom and her boyfriend are in jail for her murder, for Serenity McKinney's murder, Serenity McKinney had more family, more friends, and more people that loved her. So, we need to pray for them because they're having a hard, cold reality today. They're having a hard, cold reality today that this baby, a lot of people want to believe in sex trafficking and stuff like that, and I try to diligently. Yes, sex trafficking is an issue. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Sex trafficking is an issue in this country. I do give you that. But a lot of people, I think, kind of use that as a crutch, not to deal with the fact that these children are dead. They'd rather think that they are still alive, even being used, than think of the alternative that their parents have killed them. And, I'm a little different because I always look at the last person that's seen these children alive and work my way out. And you always find out. And we just discussed this morning in the coffee club. If those that are tuning in haven't been in my coffee club, please like, share, and subscribe this channel and stay tuned. We do a coffee club in the morning where we go over these cases as a light, fun atmosphere, but we do get serious and talk about these cases. And just this morning, we were talking about this very topic. We were talking about, Susan Smith and what she did that was despicable to her children. We're here. We're talking about this child. We talk about these cases, and at the end of the day, these parents are just, but getting back, this is statistics. The last person that sees, the person alive, the victim, because we were talking about Graciela Graciela Garcia, she's a lady that disappeared from Oregon. And, her husband was the last one to see her. Yet he's still running free, and it's been a couple years. Her case is cold. And we were talking about the statistics, and the statistics on these things were really high, of one, it being somebody you know, and two, the last person that saw you alive or saw you before you disappeared. It is really that alarming. Are there outliers in that? Of course there are outliers in that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot closer to home than many people would like to think. At the end of the day, it's a lot closer. So, you know what it's going to take? It's going to take what we do, all the stuff that we set up. Like we pay our taxes, right? We pay for police officers. We pay for all these child protective services. We pay for all these wraparound services. If they were to function like they're supposed to function, these children would be pulled out. But you know what it is? It's these judges that want to be reelected. It's these judges that put their political health and wealth above the people, above these children. Well, we got to keep the family unit together. No, you don't. No, you don't. Judges need to be ripping these. When there's this kind of abuse, when there's domestic abuse, there's drugs associated, rip those children out of that home. Because I'm telling you, they are better off in foster care in some cases than they are with the parents that are using drugs. Because when you need drugs, there is no telling what you are willing to do for them. No telling. And not only that, but some of these drugs like meth, you're up for days. They forget to even feed their children. Days without food. They go back, they forget that they even have children. It's crazy. Grandparents do have rights. You're right, grandparents do have rights, but they're not the kind, they don't have the necessary tools for the grandparents to advocate for these children. I can tell you that because I've seen it before. So the parental, for many of you guys that know, the grandparent rights is typically whenever you have, say, a divorced spouse or a dead spouse, and the other parties don't want that side of the family talking. Grandparents can petition the court to allow visitation, but there's no real good avenue for grandparents to say, hey, my child is an addict. My child is a druggie, a drunk, abusing these children, and we want to take care of them. We have a better place for them to live. We're equipped to handle children. We're equipped to this. They don't have the kind of rights people think that they do. And, we need to start, exposing this stuff. I'm sorry. I am sick of covering these cases. But I can tell you that those grandparent rights are not as strong as many people would like to make you think they are. Yeah, but you know what? You're right. There's a lot of abuse in foster care. They need a lot of hands-on services, with social workers and everything, so that abuse is curtailed. But you hear a lot less people dying in foster care. Now, there's a lot more abuse, but a lot less deaths. So, what do you do? I'd rather kids being alive. At least they have a fighting chance. These people, the reason why they're having financial problems is because they have a drug addiction. No matter how much money you throw at them, they're just going to use it for drugs and alcohol, in my opinion. They're just going to use it for drugs and alcohol. I could be wrong. But I don't see how throwing money at these two people would have helped their situation. They're on drugs. People have to want to help themselves. It's not the responsibility of the whole world to help them. I am willing to help anybody that's willing to help themselves. If you need resources to get off drugs, if you want some parenting classes, I don't care what 50 states you're from, I will help you find the resources necessary to make sure that you're a good parent that's not on drugs and not abusing your children. I will be happy to do that. If I have to work, I do 2 hours in the morning. If I have to work 8 hours after my 2 hours show in the morning, I'm happy to do that to find somebody resources so this right here doesn't happen again. But unfortunately, it's not the responsibility of the rest of the world to take these people here are in poverty because they chose to be in poverty. They chose to use drugs. They chose not to get a job. They chose to have fights and do things. I mean, of all people, everybody knows I've got a record. Does it stop me from me succeeding? No. At some point, you have to want to help yourself. The work begins when you realize it's time for it to begin. I can't force that upon anybody. It's up to them to make it happen for themselves. All I can do is say there are resources available to you, and I'm happy to show you how to get it done. That's what I can do. That's my part. But I'm damn sure not handing drugged out parents money. There is no way. There's no way. Yes, Lulu. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Couldn't have said it better than myself. There's also a lot of rich people that don't have their children. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, it's not a financial thing. It's a decent human being versus a non-decent human being thing, Liz. I mean, I'm just saying. There are a lot of people on drugs, but I don't see how handing these parents money. I mean, they were probably already receiving money for Serenity, right? What were they doing with it? They surely were not providing her proper housing, proper food, proper nutrition, proper medical. They were probably already getting money. I don't know. Just agree to disagree. I get what your heart's in the right place, Liz. Your heart's in the right place. I hear what you're saying. Trust me, I hear what you're saying. But in a situation like that, I mean, there's so many resources out there. I mean, from the charities, the Catholics, you got to remember, it's not just the government's responsibility. We as a society are philanthropists, right? So you have there's grants that the government from our taxes that are given to all these places to help these families, to boot the Catholic charities, food banks. There's so many resources out there. It's not just getting a paycheck for the child. There's free care. Hell, there's even free law services out there for underprivileged people. There's all these grants from the government that are given not just to these people, but to help these people succeed. And again, I'm happy to provide resources to anybody that has drug issues, violent issues, in a house of violence that needs to get out. Now's the time. We're sick of covering these stories of these children. And if you don't think it's not going to happen to you, look at all these cases that we're covering right now. 3, I didn't even do children before. And we got Summer, Harmony, Serenity. And there's many, many more. There's many, many more right behind them. There are so many resources out there to help. Do I believe CPS is the best resources? I do not. So you're not going to hear me provide those resources to you unless as a last-ditch effort, yes, I would. But in the grand scheme of things, no. Anyways, guys, it's a sad day. Let's pray for the friends and family of Serenity. Let's, put our prayers toward her father. Her father has a heartbreaking reality today. And, we need to figure this out. We're going to start, we've been talking about it and bouncing back and forth with the brainstorming sessions on what we need to do to really provide effective change for this environment that's becoming the new norm of parents just disposing of their children. And we need to find a way to stop it. We have to find a way of stopping it. So, guys, with that, I love you. God bless. Take care. I've got a lot of work ahead of me today. We will be live first thing in the morning. I'm probably going to be live around 6 a.m. We will be wrapping up around 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. And then you won't hear from me for a couple days. I will be on another little skit, and we'll chat soon. So I love each and every one of you. God bless. And if anything, for those that have older children, call your children, let them know you love them. Those that have younger children, just put your arm around them and hold them a little tighter tonight. Things could be so much worse. Things could truly be so much worse. Today you are blessed, and if nobody told you that they love you, I love you. I just told you that I love you. You are a loved person. Take care, everyone.